All right, so this is story time. My story I'd like to talk to you guys about is about kind of getting into running from the police, basically. So I was in Thailand this past summer, and one thing that I could say that's going on that is an issue there is if you're someone that likes to well, okay, one thing that I like about Thailand is you get to be more independent, okay? And I notice that when I'm abroad, typically I'm depending on taxis, and that one gets expensive. Another thing is, like, you can't do things like at sudden, like off the spur of the moment. So let's say you're going around and you might look, you'd be like, oh man, what are all those people gathered over there for? What's that? Looks like a little night market or flea market type setup you may want to check out. Oh wait, what type of restaurant is that, or what type of shop is that? What's going on over here, right? You can look from a taxi, but you can't just get out and see, or else, like, if you tell the taxi driver to stop, they could like increase the fare and this, that, and the other, and it can cause some problems, right? Because they're on a schedule. They may have booked, some places I go, they may have booked the next passenger. So you can't really do things like that. So one thing I picked up, particularly while living in Asia, I started riding motorbikes, okay? So I started riding motorbikes, and in Thailand, I noticed like they will allow you to rent a motorbike. Okay, like I don't have a license. I kind of picked that up just like living in China. So I know how to ride a motorbike. I know how to get around. But a lot of people, they just get it. Like they don't really check anything, So I've been there before and I've gotten like tickets. So I got a ticket for riding with no help. One was like running a light, and what happened was everybody around me started driving, right? And it was at a light, and it was kind of like an empty street, and the cop stopped me. Okay, and I'm like, only me, right? They only stopped the foreigner, and they stopped me for like running the light. They stopped me for not having a helmet. So I was like, all right. So he came with like, hey, like, you want to go to the police? I was trying to understand what's going on. He's like, you want to go to the police station? And I'm like, no. Like, what are you asking me, right? Like, and so he's like trying to basically get a bribe out of me, right? So I was like, all right, here. It was like, I don't remember what it was. It was like 15 or like $20 or something like that, right? And I was like, all right. And I just kept on my way, right? I kept riding with no helmet or whatever. And I was like, okay. So this time, right? So after that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna make sure to always have my helmet on, right? I pretty much wore my helmet most of the time, but like sometimes, like if you like go up to an apartment, you have to go down like a hallway and all that type of stuff, or it's like a really small ride, I may not put my helmet on because I forgot it. And I was like, I'll just go up and come back, and it's a pretty empty street. Not like I'm not like driving like heavy traffic or anything. So and then most people around, including other foreigners, don't have a helmet. So I'm like, all right. But anyway, I said I'm going to go out of my way to wear my helmet because I don't want any type of ticket, and I don't want them to question if I have a license or not, right? So I'm basically like the States. I'm like riding dirty. So I end up going to this time around. I started seeing other YouTubers talking about like cops were cracking down on licenses, right? And helmets, and they had started having checkpoints. And I think this has to do with like there was a decrease in tourism in Thailand. So I think this is basically, they're just like coming up with a fee. So I'll tell you how crazy it gets. So I'm like, okay, I remember I saw a checkpoint, and I'm looking at the checkpoints. I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna drive in these different directions. So I feel like I had it all mapped out. So I'm driving in my motorcycle, and I start going to the beach, right? And I'm like, all right, I'm driving. I even have my helmet on, right? And so then, and I've gone to this beach several times at a different hour. I mostly go like in the morning, kind of early afternoon, mostly like early morning, like, 9 a.m., 10 a.m., things like that. So this time I said, I want to see a sunset, right? Just to see what it's like on the beach. So I'm driving, right? Same route, same everything. And all of a sudden, man, I see they're like blowing a whistle, the police, right? I've got my helmet on. I'm like, all right, like, so I see one like jump out, hey, 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 right? And I'm just like, freak that, man. So I just, right? So I started just going and I just pretend I didn't see him, right? Because I'm like, I didn't do anything, right? I didn't have a helmet. No, I did have a helmet, but I'm like, I didn't do anything. So I'm like, there's no reason why he should stop me. So I'm going, right? And I'm like, my heart's beating fast. I'm like on my bike. I'm like, yeah, right. Just thinking like this. And man, you know what? I think I got away because like the cops were on foot, right? Just like blowing their whistle, and what they were doing is they were just basically racially profiling anybody that was a foreigner. They were pulling over and checking. And see, I had thought about getting an international license, right, for driving, but here's the crazy thing. People were getting and I thought, hey, if I just pay some money to get the international license, that would help this problem go away. So what ended up happening was, well, before I get to that, so the cop starts, I thought I made a clean getaway, and then all of a sudden I seen a cop, and they start blowing their whistle. They tell me to pull over. And I'm like, damn, right? I thought about, should I try to go faster? And then I'm like, I'm not trying to die, right? I'm not like I'm just a mediocre, I can get on a motorcycle and just drive and all that stuff. I'm not like trying to get no high speed chase and all that stuff. It's not worth it. So I end up just playing dumb, right? So he said, pull over. And I'm like, yeah, what? So he starts like speaking in Thai or whatever. And I'm like, huh? Like, what do you asking me for, right? So I just start pulling random stuff out of my like the bike seat, like what's considered like the trunk, right? He's like asking me for like, I think I gave him like my contract. I told him it was a rental, right? So he's asking me, I guess for my license, he asked me for my, I don't know actually. I think he's asked me for my international license. So I told him I didn't have it on me. So then he asked for my passport, right? I didn't have my passport on me. So I think I gave him like my license from the Middle East, right? I didn't give him my American license. I didn't give him my passport. So he took it, and then he took I had like one of those wireless keys, right? So he took it so I would follow him. So he took my ID, and he took my little wireless key to follow him back to this little booth area. And so then it was kind of the same thing. It was like, you want to go to police station? You want to go to police station? And I'm thinking to myself I don't know, I don't even know what this is, right? I'm like, isn't this not the police station? So then I was like, no, I don't. Then he asked me for I think first he asked me for $60. And I was like, ooh, I don't got it, right? I don't got $60. And so then I think I gave him 30, right? So one thing I learned is I negotiate, because they're basically just trying to pull over foreigners, and extort them, basically, like a foreign tax. Here's another thing that's crazy. What's also crazy is that he did not Other people I've seen, they got a Thai like international driver license, right? And then they got pulled over and they say it was missing some type of stamp. So it's just like these little games that they play to just basically extort money from you. So I mean, if you look at it in like the grand scheme of things, like I'm able to drive, you know, because I ended up just paying the money. I just kept going. I didn't get stopped again. Like I didn't go in that direction again. But you know, it was just $30, and you know, to rent the motorbike, it was only like rent the motorbike was like $5 or $6 a day. And then, you know, gas was super cheap. So I'm, I mean, hey, $30 for your independence, you know, to be able to ride around. I mean, I guess I'll take it, but I don't really like, especially being from America, I don't really like being pulled over by the cops. You know, you don't really know like what direction that's going to go in. But yeah, but that's my story, you know, getting into basically a high speed chase with the police in Thailand. So yeah, that's what happened. All right. So if you like, you know, crazy travel stories, I've got a bunch of them. You know, and if you're interested in living abroad, you know, transitioning abroad and doing it in a sustainable way, I've been doing it for like the past 7 years consecutively. And I've been in and out the country since 2002. Yeah, so I am Expat D, and yeah, hope to see you with different content that I have. And hey, welcome to my channel. Peace and I'm out.